standing at a bus stop. An empty bus stops and the driver waves you. "Get on, I'll give you a ride." You get on, get comfortable. The bus starts. "Where do you want to go?" he asks. "I don't know." "Anywhere." The driver shrugs and takes you somewhere. Crazy situation, really. If you go somewhere, live somewhere, and do something, the result is the same. Sometimes, through our own stupidity, we leave no chance for the world to fulfill our even simple desires. We condemn ourselves to failure. The reason is that the direction of travel is not set or is set incorrectly. The exact direction of where is a loud signal to the mind as to how to achieve our goals and live an interesting life. In order for happiness to stop being portioned and turn into a permanent state, you need to regularly remind your mind of your desires and goals. There are many proven methods and exercises for this. Setting short-term goals, planning for the year, making a list of 100 wishes, and describing the ideal day. My perfect day is a description of the best day in 10 years. The methodology allows us to see exactly how we would like to live, where, with whom, and under what conditions. Ambitions in this case play for us, not against us. Desired circumstances often go against the current state of affairs, so it is worth writing them out on paper to see the difference. If you want to figure out what you need to change in order to become happier, more successful, more consistent, think about your ideal day. The benefit of the perfect day technique is that it connects key areas of life together: health, relationships, money, leisure time, travel, pleasure, spiritual development, and self-actualization. There aren't many techniques that work on these at the same time. The exercise of writing down your ideal day is valuable material for future planning. By creating a thought picture of the world we would like to live in, we activate our enthusiasm, creativity, and paradoxically feel free. With its help, we discover unexpected sides of our nature, and it becomes clear that the way from ourselves today to ourselves ideal is within our grasp. Tips for making an ideal day. The My Perfect Day exercise is an easy game-like process. It's writing in pampering mode. Just as children love to carefully describe their worlds, believing them to be authentic, so do we let go of conventions and open our hearts. The difference is that a child's worlds are fantastical and an adult's are real. Turn in to write down not the final version of your perfect day, but a rough draft. Describe the first time as you get it. Better a draft than none. In this exercise, perfect doesn't mean unattainable. Perfect is meeting your needs. This is a description of a weekday, not a birthday, not a wedding, not Valentine's Day. It's an ordinary day where things happen the way only you want them to go. The length of the text is not important. You can write an essay like an essay, maybe in a folk form. It is good if you manage to describe your ideal day on 1-2 pages. It is also good if the story takes 5-10 sheets. Use any style of writing that you are comfortable with, from the publicist to the fictional. For example, wake up at 9 a.m. Breakfast: espresso, toast, scrambled eggs, hot shower, work call. I put on my suit, leave the house, get in the car, drive to a meeting. The sun Or maybe the sun beams gently through the tent awning. The continuous forest rustles and birds sing overhead. I stretch swiftly, roll over, twist around, then I unzip the sleeping bag, slowly open the tent, looked out and smile at the world. I'm in the most magical place on earth. I'm surrounded by mountains and green lawns. At last I'm traveling. My dreams have come true. With these thoughts, I crawl out of the tent and head for a spring. Trust the feeling. Ask yourself, how do I feel? As you write. If you feel like playing with your dog, write it. It may not be a big life goal, but it makes you happier. It helps you relax, relieve stress, and keep your energy for important things. Describe the dog's breed, its age, come up with a nickname. After all, getting a dog is also a goal. Read the prompt questions if you stop and don't know what to write about next. Hint questions. Where am I waking up? What am I doing? What do I look like? How do I feel? What am I thinking? Who is next to me? What kind of relationship do we have? What words do I want to hear? What do I want to visit? Who do I want to visit? What qualities do I possess? How do I feel in my body? What am I eating? What am I wearing? Where am I? What do I see? What does my home look like? What are the objects around me? What's going on around me? What is the weather like? What time of year is it? What smells are around me? Do I think about tomorrow? Where do I fall asleep? Remember that there are only 24 hours in a day. Do not try to fit the whole week into one day. Nevertheless, if logically 2-3 hours are left free or vice versa, 2-3 hours will be missing, it's not terrible. For example, you've described a busy day, including a workout, work, meeting with friends. When you get home, you'll want to sleep right away. But if on a perfect day you still need to read 30 pages of a book before going to bed, write about it. Don't fantasize the unrealistic. I throw dumplings in my mouth with the power of my mind. Or a private pilot in white gloves opens his own helicopter door in front of me. It don't need to be written. The perfect day should be welcomed, not mocked. There may be difficulties before you start writing it down. It's hard to imagine yourself in 10 years. In that case, think back to your existing problems. Now imagine that you have solved them. Describe yourself without them, even if it seems that the issue is not solvable. For example, poor eyesight. It's hard to imagine it coming back, but with training or surgery, vision can be corrected. Right. I open my eyes and see the world clearly without glasses or contact lenses. What to do after the exercise? Save the text. Ideally, have a planning notebook in which you should do the exercises. But if you don't have one, just put the worksheets in a safe place to come back to it in a year or 2 years, 10 years from now. Or make a photocopy in an online repository. Reread what you've written. Ask yourself if you need to change much about today for the perfect day to come. Pay close attention to the people around you now. If your perfect day doesn't have room for them, if you haven't thought about them once, end the relationship with them today, or write them in. Likewise, if you are doing a job that is not mentioned in your ideal day, change the job. The My Perfect Day exercise doesn't solve our problems, but it gives direction on where to move to fix them. It shows us what we need to change in a non-perfect day to make it perfect. perfect. By putting our ideas on paper, we get a narrative of ourselves in the future. We program the future. This technique will store the results in the subconscious, and when doing even small household tasks, we ask ourselves, does this bring me closer to my ideal day? If not, we reduce this task or fit it into the picture of the future. The daily routine will gradually get closer to what we want, cleared of unnecessary things. Compare your current day with your desired day. Check each established task, new habit with the question, do I want to see this in my ideal day? Use such a filter to shift out the unnecessary. Remember, the perfect day is feasible if you can see it, and if you don't, another ordinary day will come.